So, potty break fixed.
I'm gonna bang out. Here we go, this time. This is it. Alright. Hey guys, welcome to Potty Break Picks, where we break down the fights that everyone else is too afraid to break down. This week, we've got UFC 292 being headlined by Aljamain Sterling and Sean O'Malley. We're not too worried about that though, because we focus on the good fights. We've got the early prelims starting off with some bangers. I don't know why they put this first. This is going to be a really good fight. Then we're going into Andrea Lee versus Natalia Silva. And then co-maining Weili Zhang and Amanda Lemos, which we think is going to be one of the fights of the year for the women's division at least.
Fire.
Yeah, truly fire fight. But we're going to start with Marina Moroz and Silva. And do you have anything to say about this one first?
Yeah, so both of these fighters are really good prospects. It sucks that they're fighting each other.
I agree with that.
Marina Moroz, she, in my opinion, is going to be the minute winner in this fight. And Karina Silva is going to be the moment.
Yeah.
Going to be the more dangerous fighter, most likely to get the finish. Silva, she's an okay boxer. Well, she like hits hard, but she's got no striking accuracy.
True.
So the longer this fight takes place on the feet, in my opinion, the less opportunity Silva will have.
Yeah.
So Marina Moroz, she has decent wrestling, in my opinion. I know you don't agree with me. But I think if she takes down Karina Silva, she can maybe win minutes just like staying on top of her. Although I don't know if she wants to do that because it's pretty nasty. She could just grab a leg, fucking rip it off. But yeah, Moroz is interesting at what she's sitting at, like plus 125, I believe. Plus 120.
Not a big gap.
Oh, okay. She's at like plus 130. So as the minute winner, I think she should be like the slight favorite, or at least the line should be like at worst. I don't know. But I think the line's a little off. I think they both kind of play into each other's weaknesses. Although Moroz, like a super dangerous finisher, you never know with women's MMA, especially with these two who haven't been in the UFC for too long.
Well, Moroz has been in the UFC for a really long time. She just doesn't have a lot of fights. That's the problem. She's had so many canceled bouts. I get why you feel like it feels like she hasn't been in the UFC.
Oh, no, yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay, yeah, she has been.
She might have a record for the most canceled bouts. It's actually fucking insane how many canceled bouts she has.
Yeah, Karina Silva is the one that's Yeah. Anyways.
But she is a prospect. I agree with her being a prospect, even though she's been in for a long time. She's someone that people are hot on because, you know, she has really crisp boxing. She comes from a boxing background, and that's where she's had a lot of her long-standing injuries. She has a lot of hand and elbow issues that crop up over and over. And so I like her, like you said, as a minute winner. But I like her as a minute winner against people that aren't Silva. I think that the range that Silva fights out of, she has really bad accuracy, but she has a prodding striking style. She leans way over her front foot, which I think a lot of good boxers can capitalize on. The problem is that Marina Moroz has this weird habit, and you saw it a lot against her Buena Silva fight, which, given, is a long time ago, where she loves to capitalize on kicks, even as a boxer, but she does that by shooting really shitty takedowns off the kicks. Silva, loves that. Silva throws her kicks out to be taken down because she's such a strong guard player. She's such a strong submission artist. She goes for really strong, aggressive forward pressure with a poking, leaning, kind of unorthodox style so that it ends up on the ground. So that accuracy can be a little deceptive. I think that her striking plays really well into her grappling. But Moroz is a minute winner. She doesn't fade. She stays really strong into the third round. I'd love to see more of her fighting. It's just these injuries holding her back. Some of her biggest wins, though, I will have to diminish a little bit, like Mayra Buena Silva, which has aged really well. She fought Mayra Buena Silva after Mayra Buena Silva took 2 years off due to an injury herself. She was her first fight back, which then launched Mayra Silva into the streak that she's in now. You know, it's like, does that diminish Morales as a fighter? No. But she looked bad even winning a decision against Mayra Silva in certain instances. For instance, when she went to take takedowns, she gave her neck up over and over and over again. She gave her neck up. She would get one successful takedown, and then she would just be locked into trying to take the girl down at the start of the next round and just throwing her neck out there, which I could see if this fight stays standing. Marina Moro is getting really frustrated with the range that Silva fights at, rushing in and getting her neck snatched up. I could really see that.
Yeah.
I honestly, when I first looked at it, I thought that the gap should be a little bit bigger. I'm actually leaning in the other way. I think that's good value to get money on Silva right now, because I could see the gap widening even as the fight comes closer.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm not playing a side here. I'm going to pick Moroz to win the fight.
Yeah.
But I actually like the under 2.5 plus 110. The over is actually favored in this fight at minus 140, which I don't understand. I think it's just mostly Moroz not being a finisher that kind of contributes to that. But yeah, what bet do you like?
Well, I could see Silva winning the first round easily. The second round, I think, will be a little bit of a battle, but I see her. She fades later, which, I mean, she hasn't really been to that many fights later in the UFC, but she fades later. Admittedly, she doesn't have the best cardio, so I could see her winning the first and second and then struggling through the third, and I think that that's enough to win the fight. I don't think Moroz can pick up the second round, and then if there's going to be a finish, it's going to be on the edge of Silva. So I would honestly just take Silva money line. I think that the numbers are a little off. Minus 140 is not bad. It's very playable.
Okay.
It's good value.
Yep.
All right, so on to the next fight. We've got Andrea Lee versus Natalia Silva.
So for this fight, I think Andrea Lee. Okay, we're on opposite sides on a lot of these fights. I think Andrea Lee is being a little underrated. Like betting line wise, okay, not pick wise. If you just straight up pick a winner, I'm saying Natalia Silva all day
For sure.
But when you hang Andrea Lee plus 280 in front of me in a fight where I think it's going to take place on the feet, it's very tempting, I will say. My pick for a bet will be Andrea Lee plus 240. Sprinkle like half a unit max. Okay.
I don't disagree with that play. I think that's good money.
How many times have we seen crazy favorite women's MMA fighters just shit the bed?
Yeah.
Who is laying minus 340 on this match? Bro, if you're don't even parlay that. It's not worth it. But I think Andrea Lee, she's underrated because she has decent volume and she has okay takedowns. Like, they're not the best. The only problem is she's not going to get takedowns against Natalia Silva, who has a 93 takedown defense percentage. And this is a 93 takedown percentage against fucking grapplers. like stud woman grapplers. Like Jasmine Jazz Devicius, for example, Blida, Victoria Leonardo. They're all grapplers, and she has that kind of takedown defense. So I really don't see Andrea Lee getting it down to the mat. But I think it's going to play out closer on the feet. I just don't see why the line is so wide. I do think that Silva will be landing the harder shots, like winning more moments on the feet. But this is the best striker that Talia Silva is going to be facing. She's been fighting grapplers her past 3 fights. It's going to be the best striker by far, and it's not even close. So give me the big underdog in Andrea Lee. Again, I'm not betting, like, I'm not going crazy on it. But I'll definitely dabble.
Yeah, a fighter, men's or women's, defensively sound and with a good single leg. I mean, it's hard not to bet on people like that. I like that style. She actually is very defensively sound. That's one thing I'll give her in her striking, and she does have volume. That helps against people with really flashy kicks. Stuffing the kicker's the right move. It's just that Natalia Silva is so fast. Like it is a lot of hype around her, but it's hype for a good reason. I mean,
I think hold on, I'm sorry, but I think Silva's like true favorite. I don't think it should be this wide. Like that's just what I think. Anyway, keep going.
No, you're good. You're good. She isn't proven against strikers like you were saying, which is something that I kind of missed in the research. So that's important. And I don't think Natalia Silva's grappling is that good as much as her anti-grappling is. But Andrea Lee has a great fucking single leg. That is one thing that she has that honestly not enough fighters, men's or women's, have. She's got great low singles and high singles. She's able to bring people down consistently when she gets down on them. And what I saw, though, was any notoriously the low single in MMA, you get them down, you've got their leg planted, and then you're giving them a lot of submissions as you stay there and like get too comfortable laying on top of their leg if you're in the middle of the mat. She doesn't do a lot of wall wrestling. It's more just open mat, single legs. And then she gives up a lot of submission attempts. She's usually good at defending them, but people tout Natalia Silva's submission attempts. I don't think they're that great, but I could see it happening. It's not impossible. Natalia Silva's striking is the big key to this. It looks really good against people like that are willing to like shell up. And Andrea Lee's not much of a counter striker when she's shelling up. She'll just literally sit there with her hands like this and let someone tee off on her, which is exactly what Natalia Silva needs to have big moments. So as much as Andrea Lee is a better striker, she still plays in Natalia Silva's game of just throwing flashy shit and looking good. But the money, it's tempting. Like, I see where you're going with her line, this is honestly my not touch 'em. Like, I probably wouldn't touch this fight. I think Natalia Silva probably beats Andrea Lee up on the standing. But, that's just personally me. I see where the money is, and I see why it's tempting.
I will say, Andrea Lee in her last fight against Barber, she won that fight. Like, she absolutely won that fight. She got robbed.
Yeah, I couldn't give someone a win after that fucking arm behind the back from guard. Dude, that was crazy. That was insane. I've never seen anything like that. That was just, I don't even know what to call that. That was just, it wasn't even a good move by Macy Barber. It was just fucking hilarious to watch. I get it. She really did not look as good as people made, and it was a split decision. But yeah, no, I could see the Andrea Lee winning that fight. I don't see that being that off. I don't know why people would fade her now this hard just because she came off a split decision.
I think, I don't know if people are fading her or if they're way too high on Natalia Silva.
I have to let the viewers know also, not a stock image. This is her actual Tapology photo, dude. It's crazy. She looks like a stock image, dude. That's Getty Images.
Yeah.
But people are super hot on her. Like, they think that she's the next thing, and she could be. It's just she hasn't been proven against good strikers, like you're saying.
Yeah. But we'll find out Saturday.
All right.
And when they're reading that decision, it was a 50-50 striking match on the feet, I'm gonna be happy holding my plus 240 on the fucking Nazi.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that. Yeah.
KGB Lee.
Homeschool mom in America.
It is so weird. Bro.
KGB bikini.
Her Tapology picture scares me. She looks like a doll. Like, it's really weird. Okay. Anyways, let's move on to the best fight of the night.
Yeah.
Not the main event. Nothing on the prelims. This fight is the main event.
Yeah. Showing the boys how to do it, bro.
Turning my TV off after this fight.
Who wants to watch Aljo versus fucking Sean O'Malley anyways?
I know. We got...
Go ahead.
What was that?
I was saying they're going to show him how to do a title card, dude. This is legit.
Yeah.
This
should
be the
main event. Sean O'Malley should be undercarding, co-maining these women right here. We got Zhang Weili taking on Amanda Lemos.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda Lemos fighting for the title after not very impressive wins, in my opinion.
I could agree with that. Yeah.
Not like Marina Rodriguez, that's a good win, but Michelle Watterson and then getting ninja choked by Jessica Andrade is just not like, or standing head and arm, I think it was.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was,
No,
but
standing head and arm, you had it. That was fucking
yeah,
sick.
yeah, yeah.
One of the greatest submissions of all time.
I don't think Amanda Lemos is that good, but every time she fights, I get excited
Mm-hmm.
because she hits like a bro. Like
Yeah.
it's hard. But Weili Zhang is just one of those women that are like has skills.
Yeah,
Like
totally.
I feel like with women it's like you either just hit hard or you don't. But Weili Zhang, she has the skills of like a man. I don't know like I
It's
don't
a
she's so
statement.
technical. She's so technical with her striking. Her wrestling is much improved
Mm-hmm.
after she started training with Cejudo.
Mm-hmm.
And she just looks so good. I think the Rose Namajunas KO loss and vision, I think we can kind of there's no like shame in that. Like
Yeah.
Amanda
Yeah.
Lemos isn't fighting Rose Namajunas.
Yeah. Your mic's cutting out a little bit. I think you're going
Okay.
over it a little bit. Sorry. You're good.
Oh, okay, okay. Anyways, um, she had a great KO against Joanna,
Mm-hmm.
great submission against Carla Esparza. She's going out there and melting girls with her volume.
Yeah.
And she's when she sees a finish, the opportunity, she will seize it.
I agree with that.
So I like violence in this fight a lot. I think Amanda Lemos, considering what we've seen Rose Namajunas do to Weili Zhang, I think Amanda Lemos has that puncher's chance in round 1 and 2. But I think Weili has just improved so much since
Yeah.
then that it's like I don't even want to sprinkle that, to be
True.
honest. Like it's not that tempting to me.
Yeah.
Amanda Lemos round 1 plus 900. I don't know. I don't like it. I think Weili Zhang is just gonna have her way
Mm-hmm.
in at least like later in the fight. I think where the line's at um over 3.5, under 3.5. I think that's about right. The unders under 3.5 rounds is at minus 10. I don't disagree. I think it should go under, but I think minus 210 to 3.5 might be a little.
Mm-hmm.
I need a little more time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I like Weili Zhang inside the distance at minus 160.
Mm-hmm.
Lemos, she gasses. You don't want to be a gasser in a world title fight in a co-main event spot where there can be an adrenaline dump.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at Zhang by submission actually at plus 400.
I mean, that's not off. That's
I
not horrible. That's the thing about Zhang though, is like it's so hard to pin down what her best skills are. Like that is a tell of
uh-huh.
a great fighter where it's like you can't just say one thing that she's good at. She's good at so many different things. I think Lemos has fought cardboard versions of all of Zhang's best skills. You know, Michelle Watterson's kicking game is a joke in comparison to Zhang's kicking game. Like she's actually got, but it's less flashy. A lot of people don't notice it necessarily, but it scores points, it wins fights, and it overwhelms them at ranges that they don't think. They think it's their turn. They think they're safe. You know, both of those moments are when she uses her kicks best. And then when it comes to her striking, she, I don't like when people go for hooks, you know, striking hooks against good hookers. I think Amanda Lemos has good hooks, and like it's the old boxing phrase, "Don't hook with a hooker." Like, if someone's really good at one thing, meeting them at that game, Zhang has a very reactive lead hook. She tends to use it in situations where she's starting to get overwhelmed and trying to back off and create space and scare people away. and I could see that getting her caught out early. But she has the skill set now to get out of it. I think an earlier Zhang, I think it would be more tempting to sprinkle the knockout for Lemos. But what you said, at -160, Zhang in the distance is so good. There's so many different facets to her game. She could scrape out of a decision just to secure the title. I could see that too. But I mean, inside the distance for 160 is just, it's good. It's good.
So you like that one too then?
For sure. No. And I mean, maybe even just her money. What's her money line at right now? Is it too ridiculous? Because I was gonna say, as a parlay piece, that wouldn't be bad with any of the Silvas on the
bad as a parlay piece, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's -280. A little bit of money has come in on Lemos. Like she was, I think, -320. So yeah, money's coming in on Lemos, I guess.
If you want to parlay, in my opinion, both the Silvas and the Zhang, just all money line. You could do double Silva and a Zhang, and you might make some money this weekend.
Yeah, but also you're betting all 3 favorites in a women's MMA fight in a parlay. So that in itself is kind of scary.
Yeah, I probably would have bet on these girls even if they weren't favorites, just because the games of the people they're fighting, it seems like all these people are on a different level than the people they're fighting this week. It's it's an issue of like just skill set. I just think that both Silvas and Zhang are just on a different level than the person they're fighting.
Yeah.
So, and I think you agree with that. It's just whether or not there's money in it. So, because there's always that chance. So.
Right.
All right. Well, if we want to talk about the main event, just slide it under the rug. Just a short one.
All right. Yeah. I mean, this fight's whatever, but Sean O'Malley taking Aljamain Sterling on for the bantamweight title. Everybody is gonna be saying Aljamain's like anyone you watch, every show, people are just like, I'm picking Aljamain. I'm not picking Sean O'Malley. I think violence is the answer in this fight.
Well, all those people on those shows, they're trying to protect their reputation and look good and say, "Oh, yeah, I had Aljo." You know what I mean? They don't want to look bad because it's Sean O'Malley, but we're here to make money. Sean O'Malley, he can squeeze out a win by just cheating his ass off like he did against Yon. You know what I mean?
What? He didn't cheat.
The fence grabbing, bro. The fence grabbing was crazy.
So when I watch Yon grab Sean O'Malley's legs,
true,
just, like flip him over, and then I see Aljamain take down Henry Cejudo doing a full split. I gotta ask myself, is Sean's takedown defense gonna hold up in this fight?
He doesn't need
because Aljo is getting some crazy takedowns against Cejudo, who's like the MMA mastermind. Fucking, he's the fucking megamind of MMA, and I just don't see where Sean wins the fight unless it's on the feet and he fucking Marias's Aljamain, just like folds him in half.
Clean. I'd love to see it.
That would be clean. But also, let's talk about how Aljamain said this was his last bantamweight fight. Whether he wins or loses, he's moving up. Then Sean's got to... What?
Why do they have to throw in that whether I win or lose thing? It always makes me lose so much confidence in someone, man. It's like, just say when I win, I'll move up. But don't say if I win or lose.
Yeah. Thing is, because I think what happened was he was like, yeah, when I win this next fight, like, I'm going to move up. And then the guy was like, okay, well, if you lose, are you going to stay at bantamweight? Like, no. I think that's how it happened. He wasn't like...
Fair.
He didn't have, like, no confidence. So... I don't like a side, dude. I think if Aljo in the first round just like takes down O'Malley, I think there was value in the Aljamain 250 minus 255. Like we'll be looking at that number and we'll be like, what the fuck were we thinking? Like, this guy should have been minus 1,000.
Yeah. But
And then
every round has to start on the feet, Sam. Don't you know that? Come on,
I
man.
know that. I know that. Every second that Aljamain and Sean O'Malley are striking, Sean O'Malley's gonna be live.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a sharpshooter. He doesn't have crazy knockout power, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just like hits people in the right spots with the right amount of volume, and they just fall over. I don't think he's like a fucking destroyer of worlds or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I like the under 4.5, because I don't know if Sean O'Malley is going to be able to stay safe when Aljamain backpacks him. And I say when.
Yeah.
I say
no,
when.
I agree with that. When is
it's going to happen. If you're backpacking Henry Cejudo, who's fully aware in his mind, that's your game plan, and he was practicing getting out, not letting that happen, basically.
Mm-hmm.
His whole camp, and you still did it to him. Like, you basically you get backpacked by this guy, you lose the whole round, like you're not getting out, and you also got to worry about not getting finished. Like, I think if Sean O'Malley gets backpacked, he's gonna like lose all confidence in himself and in his striking game.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna start overthinking, like, before throwing, because if he throws his right hand,
yeah,
and Aljo just fucking like ducks it and grabs him,
that's a good point.
I think it's over, dude. Like,
his whole game is switch hitting, but switch hitting to put someone into a scramble, and then once they're scrambled, that's when he capitalizes, and that's why he's able to get such accurate shots. But the thing is like, he is someone who gets scrambled himself when other people switch hit, or when someone else has great takedowns. And, you know, he just hasn't fought that many people with amazing takedowns like Aljo on that other level. And so, like, his confidence is a key here. Can he stand up between the rounds and throw like he threw in the first round, you know, with confidence, rather than just throw like he did in the first round with cardio? I don't think he's going to be gassed. It's just whether he can stand up and, you know, like you just said. But
yeah,
a key is like, if you watch his grappling match, I know he was on the offensive for most of the part, but, like, it just shows that his jiu-jitsu has progressed a lot, and he's someone who I could take him stopping the Aljo backpack probably 1 or 2 rounds. I don't think over the course of the fight, as it gets on to the later rounds, I don't know if I would bet on him defending. But you know, I think he could defend decent attacks by Aljo. I don't think Aljo's game is that aggressive when it comes to being on someone's back, when it comes to actually looking for a finish. And also, I've just faded Aljo's I faded Aljo his whole career. Like, literally his whole career. So I also don't like Sean O'Malley, so I'm in this weird position where I don't really like either of these guys, but I'm kind of on Sean O'Malley a little bit.
That started with the Sandhagen fight.
Yeah.
I
I know. That pain, dude.
I will say, Sean O'Malley, he's so tall and long. Mm-hmm. Like, if he is in the Cejudo splits, I favor him to like stop that takedown more than Cejudo. Like, Cejudo's like 4 feet tall, so like, you just like pull his hips and he's down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
maybe the height might be a problem. I think if Sean just on the feet, if he just throws up the middle, like just spams like front kicks, and like knees up the middle, I think that's how he wins.
Yeah. Or just skates by on a decision. I don't, the way the judges have been lately, and like the damage he can accumulate in just a couple of strikes. I know you're saying he's not a super hard striker. I don't think he can put him away, but the damage he can accumulate, you know, if we're talking about damage, he
cut up Jan.
Yeah.
He had Jan bleeding.
Yeah, so if he just, you know, if he can pepper in a couple of good shots that wear on Aljo's face and then, you know, survive, that's not that off, you know?
Yeah. If O'Malley wins this fight somehow, then he's got to fight Merab next. Merab's going to, like, mop it up.
Yeah. I'm going to fade the fuck out of Sean O'Malley versus Merab. Yeah, this division, man, this division's weird right now. There's so many crafty guys, and there's so many such talented guys. It's weird seeing Sean O'Malley getting a title shot. Like, I'm not saying he's not good. It's just that, like,
it's the most fluky run, bro. Like,
yeah,
come on.
Yeah,
but I also Aljamain's title run for his title, like reign, is like has been like a little weird, bro. Like,
I agree.
Can't lie about it. Because he had a close fight with Jan that he arguably lost. He won the title by DQ, and then TJ Dillashaw fought without an arm.
Wild, bro.
But Cejudo, in my opinion, was a good one. So I don't know.
No, it was a good one. That one wears really well, and then I this is such a weird fight. I don't know. I would take.
I feel like something weird's gonna happen. And we just don't know what it is.
If we could bet on something weird, we would. So yeah, no. I would take O'Malley for a sprinkle. I wouldn't go too far with it. That's just me. I do see many paths for him that are like all very similar, but they're not far-fetched. You know, they're not insanely far-fetched. It's just that like everyone's that's saying right now, like if you're betting, consider the ego of all the people that are talking about pro Aljo, you know what I mean? They're afraid of looking bad because if he wins, he's going to make O'Malley look really bad versus if O'Malley wins, people are going to be, you know, you knocked him out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So all the good analysts and stuff like that are saying like pro Aljo, it's more even than they look at, but it's also not that even. So, I don't know, man. It's a weird fight.
Yeah, the under 4.5 is honestly the only play here, in my opinion.
Okay.
I mean, parlaying Aljo, I don't hate it either. So what if we parlay the under 4.5 in this fight with Weili Zhang
under, or Weili Zhang not
inside
in the distance.
the distance?
Yeah, inside the distance.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad. The men's MMA, man. I don't know, man. I'll stick to my parlay pieces in women's MMA, man.
Yeah.
Weird week to come back, dude. You know what happened to us last week? We were gone, and what happened was I was watching the Sandhagen fight, and then I just woke up in the hospital. I don't know what happened. The ring, it started, I fell right asleep, and they put me into a coma, dude. It was crazy. I was so upset about Corey Sandhagen fighting like that we've been gone for.
Yeah, you're like, this is a fight where he's gonna style Rob. It's styled. He did. It's not the way we were expecting.
Dude, I suggested for my friend who just joined the military. He's like in the barracks. I was like, bro. This is gonna be the fight of the year, dude. You gotta watch this. I was like, I'll give you my ESPN Plus account, dude.
That is.
And he he almost put it on for his friends that he like just met in the military, and they were just gonna watch some dude wrestle fuck somebody.
That's horrible.
I felt so bad, bro.
Okay, so next week we have the Korean Zombie versus Max Holloway in Singapore, and I love Asian cards because we get a lot of Asian fighters, and we get some cool fights. Like there's some cool motherfuckers fighting next week.
Totally.
Liang Na. You don't know it yet, but she's about to be your favorite women's MMA fighter.
Let's go.
Erin Blanchfield versus Tyla Santos. Banger fight.
Yeah. Erin Blanchfield
banger.
Always puts on a good performance.
Yeah. And we got a couple other Asian males fighting that I'm really excited to see. It's going to be a great card. I can't wait. I'm actually more excited for this card as a whole than this pay-per-view as a whole. Like there's a couple fights on the pay-per-view where I'm like, okay, this is a lot better than next week, but as a whole card, I actually like next week better.
Cool. Well then, that was Potty Break Picks. We broke it down. That was this card for sure.
We did.
All right. See you next week.